Hello. I'm pulling up my notes. Hello. I didn't give any warning that I was going live because story of my life. It's just how I do it. But I was going to go live on Instagram, but I figured I would come on here too. So if any of my subscribers on here would like to know about my Mind Over ARE group coaching, I figured this was a good spot to reach out and chat with you guys and see if you had any questions. So, my Mind Over ARE group coaching is open now. This is something that I do about once a quarter, and the doors have been closed up until just earlier this week. I just opened it. We're going to be starting on June 6th. So, that's in like a little over a week, which is wild. And so I'm closing the doors to get access tomorrow. So after tomorrow, I'm just going to be focusing on the new students that are in, which I try to do so that, I can answer any questions, I can get everyone set up, and everyone can get dialed in. So if you are taking your AREs right now, or you're going to be taking an exam within the next couple months, pretty much like this summer, you definitely want to get in now because I'm not going to have this open again probably until the fall. So, this is called Mind Over ARE, which, if you haven't heard yet, this is my group coaching program where it is 6 weeks long and we work together one on one. So, I say one on one, but it's more like one on a few. So, this is an amazing opportunity to create a community. If you're looking for community, if you're looking for collaboration, if you're looking for support. So, when I was going through my AREs, I definitely didn't have a community of support around me. And I definitely didn't have a mentor. And it's something that I had to figure out on my own. I had to figure out the timeline on my own. I had to figure out how to deal with failure on my own. And that was not fun. And so now it is my goal to help support as many people as possible through their exams so that they can get licensed quicker, they can get licensed without tons of headache, and they can enjoy the process. So that is what I am doing and why I'm here. So over on Instagram, I did a little question box to ask what people had question wise, and I wanted to come on here to answer some of those questions. So there's going to be a link below where you can go and read a ton more information on what the course is like. It's DCI, which stands for Design, Create, Inspire, dci.beyonddesign.com/mind dash over dash ARE. So you can go there. There's a link below. Go there. But I'm just going to go into some of these questions. I don't want to make this super, super long, but I want to answer anything so that you feel comfortable and excited to join me. It's going to be an amazing 6 weeks. The responses I've been getting from the last group are so positive. I have people already passing their exams. I have people supporting each other and rooting each other on. And that is just amazing. So, the reason this course is called Mind Over ARE is because we dive into some alternative concepts that aren't necessarily discussed in the ARE world. So, we're really diving into the mindset side of the AREs, which is a huge aspect that is not discussed enough. And there's not enough tools out there created to help us really get past any of our existing limitations in order to pass these exams. So there's some really great test prep out there. There's amazing boot camps and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm diving into is how to get over your own self in order to pass these exams at an accelerated rate. So doing it within a appropriate time rather than failing an exam and taking a year to get back in it and pass them again. So the goal is to create these plans and strategies so that if you do fail, that you really easily can pick yourself up back from that. And also how to even look at failure in a different light. Like I have students now who are excited to take their exams, even with the idea that they might fail. So that is amazing. Okay, so let me just dive into some of these questions. The first question was, is it just about mindset? So, how will it help me pass? So, we go into a lot of deep work here, which can sometimes feel uncomfortable, can sometimes feel a little weird, but it's so important. And a lot of that is mindset. It's how to create these tools and techniques in order to stay positive, stay optimistic, and stay calm, deal with test anxiety, deal with overwhelm, deal with burnout, deal with being stressed, all that stuff. So that's kind of the mindset side of things. But with that, I'm also really diving into how to efficiently study, how to really look at the exam and pass it based on, what is it trying to ask you. So we're like diving into exam strategy. That's not necessarily like calculations or not necessarily like what orientation should your building be at. We're talking about like how do you read this question and dissect it in order for the answer to present itself a lot easier for you. So these exam strategies too that go into how you can set yourself up for success the week before, the month before, the day of. I also have an incredible set of bonuses this time around. One of those is a study plan. So I'm including a whole extra module or lesson all about study the best study plan that you can put together. And then there's going to be a custom template that you can set up all for how you're going to create your study plan. The other bonuses that are pretty awesome is I am giving you practice quizzes, essentially like practice questions and answers, and my own ARE notes. And um, um, there was something else. Oh shoot, I'm blanking. But so with that, the bonus side of things is there are going to be a little bit more technical stuff that will really help you study and pass these exams, but those are bonuses that are provided after the set modules are done, and that is designed to really um, allow you to focus and get those foundational principles done first, and then get back to, the technical, you know, actual content. So that is the answer to that. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. I think it's allergies today. Okay, next question. I only have one exam left. Is it still good for me? Yes, definitely. And especially because sometimes by the time you're hitting that last exam, you're so burned out or just over it. Or you may have one exam left because you've failed that exam and you're just trying to push through to get there. This is definitely perfect for you if this sounds like you. Next question. What days do you meet? So the way it's broken up, it's 6 weeks. We meet 6 times. And actually, I think we meet 7 times. I think 6. I have to check. But we meet every week, and there will be a pre-assessment once you join for telling what your ideal days are. So I don't have a set date for our live meetings because I work it around what makes sense for that group. But it is an hour where we're talking, we're collaborating, you're asking questions, we are working directly with each other. And that's also why I like to keep it a smaller group so that we're really, it's kind of intimate and you're allowed to talk about vulnerability and failing and all that stuff and not feel weird about it. So that is 1 hour a week that we meet. The other modules, so there's 4 modules that are lessons, and those you can take at your own time. So those each module has like 2 to 3 or 4 videos set in them that are anywhere from 25 minutes to 45 minutes. I designed this to not be too overwhelming for you, but to give you some really great content that, it's not just a YouTube video. So you can take those at your own time, though, which is helpful. And then that kind of goes into this next question is I'm traveling for a week in June. Will I miss out? So you can watch these modules at any point after they've been released to you. You can take it as you need to. I do recommend watching them before we meet live so that you're not just lost. You have an idea what we're talking about. But at the same time, if you are gone for a week or whatever and need to, take a week off, that's totally fine. It also, life gets in the way. It's fine to take a break. The most, the critical thing with this program is the group collaboration and the coaching. And so if you miss a coaching session, it will be recorded. You can watch it later, but it's really nice to be there live to really get the most out of it. So I definitely recommend trying to make the live coaching sessions as much as possible. But again, if you miss one, it's not the end of the world. You can catch the replay. This person said, I'm only on my first exam. Will I remember the whole course by the time I take my last exam? So this is a perfect question because it can take like 2 years to get through this whole process. And so this program is lifetime access. You will always have access to it. So if you want to retake it in 6 months, you totally can. I actually have a student from my last session who just reached out. We just finished at the beginning of May, and she just reached out and said she's already going to be redoing it just to kind of get like a refresher, get that motivation. The thing with this course, if you're just coming on, it's Mind Over ARE. There's a link down below. You can find out tons more info. But the thing that's the best part of this is it's very encouraging and inspiring. So I literally have people who started out with the course being frustrated, overwhelmed, sick of the exams, literally hating the process, to at the end when I'm surveying them, they're saying they're optimistic, they're excited, they like can't wait to get in there. They've scheduled their first exam. So it's a complete mindset shift of instead of hating it, enjoying it and enjoying the process and understanding that that process is really part of the whole journey. So you can, if you take this, you go in, you take an exam and you pass, and then you take another exam and you pass, and then you take an exam and you fail, and you just kind of are getting back into like that not feeling good about things, like feeling frustrated, overwhelmed. You always have access to this. So you can always come back, watch certain modules that you liked, or maybe ones that you wanted to get a little bit more from. You can always go back. And that's what's so amazing too. You pay once and you can literally have this forever. How involved are you? Do you support us? So yes, I'm very involved. I even kind of sometimes take a little bit of a step back from my own like social media and stuff because I am focused on the students that I have. So again, we meet once a week, but then I'm so quick to respond to things. I'm part of the community group. So I'm cheering you guys on. I'm supporting you throughout it. I'm answering questions. So it's definitely, again, it's a smaller group. So it's an intimate experience that we get to hang out together and spend 6 weeks together, pick my brain and ask me any questions. I'm very much involved, which is important to me. What's the community aspect like, or is there any? I'm doing this alone right now. So that was important to me, is that I was doing it all alone when I was going through this. And so, yes, there's a community aspect. There will be a private community just for this cohort, so just this group. And then after you're done, you actually get into a community group with everyone who has done the program. So, again, this program's a little bit different than other ones. And I, at one point, thought I would maybe open up the community to anyone. But there is a big mindset shift for people that go through this versus just anybody. And I want to keep this community super positive. You know, having the same language essentially around this. And so that is why it is a private community only for people who have gone through this or who are currently in it. But that is a big important aspect is I'm cheering you on, but so is everyone else. And then if you have questions too, you can rely on people who are in it, not just me, but people who are in it too. How much time is the course? I'm already worn out from work, kids, and studying. Yes, I totally know what you mean. And that is why I wanted to make this again. I kind of talked about this, but I want to make this something that's not another burden on you. So, again, lifetime access. If you're just overwhelmed, you need to take a break, do it. We talk a lot about that. Allow yourself space. But at the same time, it's maybe two or three like 30, 45-minute videos you can take within a week. So you can watch it or listen to it while you're cooking dinner or something like that. So, and then there's workbooks associated with it. But again, it's not to overwhelm you. It's not to freak you out. It's, to keep you motivated and excited and hopefully enjoying the process rather than being overwhelmed. And actually, you might find that during this course, you are allowed more time because of the way I have things set up, that you are relieving stress and feeling less burned out, even though you're adding on a new course. Okay, let's see. What other questions do I have? Um, Two things. One, well, they're two different questions, but one is what's it cost and are there any options? So I'm very happy to say that you can get started for only $199. So I've set up a plan where it is only $199 to get started because I want this to be accessible for as many people as possible. And then I also have set up a system where 10% of all of my sales now on my website go back into a scholarship situation. So this is going to be set up where 10% of all my sales are going into a scholarship that helps provide exam prep for people because there's not that. And it's super important to me. Exam prep gets really freaking expensive. And it shouldn't just be able to be accessible to people who can afford it. So I want to try to give back as much as possible and, help people out. With that, I am also giving out a scholarship for this course. So every session, I will be giving out a scholarship to give access to it, full access. I haven't released that information quite yet. And so if you're live on here, and then now you know, but I wasn't going to release that until early next week. But I will be putting up all that information on the website. So if cost is a concern for you and you are interested in a scholarship so that you can get access, then let me know. I'll give you access. I'll put it on the website. I'll also be announcing it next week so that you can go get that. And so someone else had said, like, I can't really afford it, but I really need some guidance. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And so, you know, there's so many things with this. One thing is with a program like this, there is a lot of value in actually paying for something. Because have you ever noticed, like, when you don't pay for something, you're like, you forget about it. And a year later, you're like, oh yeah, like, didn't I get that free download somewhere? and oh, I didn't never use it. And then think of something that like you've actually put in some of your money for and how much differently you value it. And so there is a lot of power and transformation that can happen in a transaction. So I would kind of think of things like that. And what we're doing here, taking the AREs, getting licensed, you are propelling yourself to, um, become a licensed architect. So you're getting to a different level in your career. So, you know, you have to think of all these things. Like I hear people complaining about the price of an exam, but it's like, well, what's $250 in comparison to everything? It's really not that much. I mean, people spend $250 on like, you know, a nice dinner out with friends or something like that. I mean, that's a really nice dinner, but you know what I mean? So it's all kind of perspective, and there is a lot of value. And I do have to say, the mentors that I have taken courses from and done, some of the most expensive ones that I have done have been the most valuable. So I'm just going to say that, there is power in that transaction. But again, I also understand that it's not in everyone's means. And so that's why I do offer the options like a payment plan starting for, only 199, super accessible, and then also scholarship opportunity. So I can't create amazing content and value in all of this, for free because I mean, I do a lot of that, but at some point, there has to be some sort of transaction so that I can keep doing it and keep doing it better. But at the same time, I want to try to make it as accessible to as many people as possible, which is also why I try to come on and do things like YouTube and the free stuff and the podcast as much as possible as well. So those are the main questions I got. Oh, when do you guys start? We're starting June 6th. And again, the doors will be closing tomorrow. So after tomorrow, there will not be access again for this next group. And we won't be starting a new group until the fall. So again, I do this kind of like quarterly. So if you are taking an exam this summer, you definitely want to get in now. And we will be meeting June through the beginning of July. And then we also have the community. So even after this session is done, you will have support. I'm still getting in with the last group. I'm still getting in the group and congratulating people on scheduling their exams or their wins or answering questions or I, it's kind of like I'm still like coaching, which, you know, so it is 6 weeks long, but in a way, it's kind of like you're part of this new group and community and support system. So I don't just trail off and leave you. I'm definitely here to support you as much as possible. So that is most of the questions that I had. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The website has lots of other, frequently asked questions. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can DM me, anything like that. And yeah, I hope to see some of you in there. Again, the link is below. DCI, Design, Create, Inspire, dci.beyoungdesign.com/mind dash over dash ARE. So go join before it's too late, before it fills up. I'd love to see you. It's really exciting. I always love meeting people and putting faces to names and all that good stuff. So happy Friday. Have a wonderful long weekend. And hopefully I will see you June 6th.